The M4 Sherman tank was the most widely used medium tank of the Western Allies during World War II. Join me in this video as I build and review the World War Toons version of this machine from Meng. Hello and welcome to Model Minutes. This video is a build and review of the M4A1 Sherman tank based on the version as featured in the World War Toons computer game from Meng. As a result, this model doesn't have any set scale and is to a very cartoony style, but that's what caught my eye and I purchased it as a result. Before we start the kit, as always, remember that adult supervision may be required due to the use of sharp tools and toxic paints and chemicals. Meng recommends this kit for those aged 14 years and over. The box is pretty sturdy and has some excellent and eye-catching artwork. It advertises paints and other items that are recommended for use in the construction of this kit. Not to mention the rear of the box advertises the computer game World War Toons. The contents of the box are all contained within a clear plastic bag. The first thing I look at is the instruction booklet, which comes as a glossy, full-colour 8-page booklet that contains step-by-step pictures that are quite clear to follow and are multilingual. A small sheet of decals are included that come in a small bag and covered with protective paper. The parts of the kit are held on 3 dark green plastic sprues. The components are finely moulded and have no flash whatsoever. The only thing I noticed was that the plastic is incredibly hard, which presents a little challenge in the upcoming construction. The final thing included in the kit are the tank tracks, which are moulded rubber loops. The construction begins by removing the parts from the sprue with a knife, and I attempted to file the burrs with a nail file, but as previously stated, the plastic was very hard and this didn't work effectively. As a result, I take to cutting the burrs off with a knife instead. The first stage is the suspension, which if assembled correctly will allow the wheels and tracks to turn when completed. I feel as though cement is not a necessity for this kit, as all of the parts either push or click together and form a solid bond. I do however use polycement throughout my build in order to ensure it remains assembled. Having completed the suspension, I then move on to the running gear and hull of the tank. I was surprised that many parts of the kit were detailing elements, such as towing hooks, shovels and piping, etc. The instructions state that the tracks should be added at the stage where the top hull of the tank is installed. I will instead keep them off until the end, as I intend to paint the model a more suitable shade of green. Various detailing parts, such as the lights and machine gun, are attached at this stage. If careful, the machine gun can be made to elevate slightly. The majority of the tank is complete at this point. The only thing left is to build the turret. Again, the components clip together and don't really need cement, and as a result the gun can be made to elevate and lower just as in the machine gun previously. The hatches on the top of the turret can also be made to open and close, but mine seemed very loose, so I made the decision to cement them closed. And it is at this point now, where all the little details have been attached to the model, that I began painting. I chose Humbrol Acrylic 159 Matte Khaki Drab, as I had it left over from the build of my Cromwell tank, which I'll add the link for under the video. I thin the paint with a drop of water in order to allow it to flow better and prevent any visible brush strokes being seen on the model. Whilst I finish up painting the kit, I'll tell you a little more about the M4 Sherman tank. Named after William Sherman, an American Civil War general, the M4 tank became one of the widest used tanks by the Western Allies during World War II. This was due to its reliability, ease of repair and manufacture, and that it outclassed many of its rivals early in the war. The popularity of the Sherman meant that it found itself being used by many nations for prolonged periods, even after it had been surpassed by more recent tanks, with the last Shermans being retired in 2018 from the Paraguay Presidential Escort Regiment. Having completed the overall colour scheme, I then gave the areas that required decals a coat of Humbrol Satin 135 enamel, which I thinned with white spirit. A satin or gloss varnish should be used as the base for the application of decals, as this prevents the decals from appearing silver and shiny on the model. The decals were soaked in warm water and then gently applied to the kit, which had already been given a coat of Humbrol Decal Fix solution in the relevant position. The decals are positioned and left to cure. The solution allows for the decals to conform to the complicated contours and details of the model and look like they're painted on. When the decals had dried, the model was then given a coat of Humbrol 49 matte varnish enamel, again thinned with white spirit. Humbrol 11 silver was then dry brushed over the model to give it a light metallic effect and highlight the details. I removed the majority of the paint off of the paintbrush onto a paper towel. Then with the residual paint I brushed it over the model, and only the raised details would collect the silver paint and make them look slightly chipped, as if revealing the bare metal underneath. Another step was to pick out the small details such as the red rear lights and the shovels on the side of the hull in relevant colours. I used acrylics for this. The tracks were then dry brushed with some acrylic Humbrol 53 gunmetal paint in order to highlight the details. When this paint was dry, the tracks were then added to the model, gently stretching them over the wheels and pushing them into place. If all has gone well, they should turn reasonably freely. And here's the finished model. I love the shape and design of this kit. Although it's not accurate to the original Sherman tank or to any particular scale, I think the cartoony style is great and will add interest to any display or collection. The parts are well moulded and fit together well, but as mentioned, the plastic is very hard and that makes it difficult to file the burrs off after removing them from the sprue. The kit retails for under £10 in the United Kingdom, which I think is a good price, especially as it has high quality parts, instructions and decals. I think that it's good that it relates to a computer game too, and as a result it might just encourage some new people into the hobby. I think I might have to get some of the other kits in this range so that I can build a diorama of these World War Toon tanks. As always, let me know what you think of my build, techniques and finished model in the comments below. I'm also keen to hear your suggestions as to other kits that you'd like to see me build on my channel, so feel free to post that too. All that's left to say is thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe in order to see more content and help support the channel, and feel free to share this video with your family and friends. And you can connect with me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. See you all again next time.